You're listening to Nick Prince and Suel on Chatterbox UK.
And now on Chatterbox UK, we're just lucky enough to welcome for the very first time Suzi Kory. Suzi, welcome. How are you?
Hello, Suzi.
I'm fantastic. It's still morning here in Canada.
Oh, well, we're just about to start getting dark here, but yeah, 9 minutes past 3 we're doing the recording in the afternoon. Yes, it's just, yeah. By the time we finish, it probably will be dark, won't it?
Well, it was better than yesterday's weather.
Yeah, we had almost had them on soon, yeah. Okay, we're chatting a little bit off air about how it all started, but, well, how you got into the singing bit and how old you were. We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's go right back to being a kid. So, you're at home, you're growing up. What influences was it? Was it what your parents were listening to, or what sort of grabbed you music-wise when you were, like, sort of young?
So it's funny because my mother was listening to country at the time. She was born and raised in Lebanon and came to Canada after she got married. She was still fairly young in her early 20s. But myself, I personally got into rock music and I became a huge fan of Guns N' Roses.
Mhm.
And they were my first concert when I was 14. And I always say that's really was the pivotal moment for me. I went to that show and it was my first concert. And I went, okay, that's what I want to do with my life. I want to be a performer. And I was inspired by Axl Rose. And I told my parents that, and they said, no, you're not going to do that. You're going to get a proper job. And so I ended up going into the airlines, and I worked that for about 20 plus years. And it wasn't until much later in life that I decided, my kids were a little bit older, and maybe I could try and pursue this thing that I had dreamed about when I was a kid. And since then, it's just been one incredible thing after another. And the irony is that the reason I decided to pursue it later was, again, involving Axl Rose. It was my 40th birthday. And I said to my friends, all I want for my birthday is to meet Axl. And they said, how are you going to do that? She's clearly lost her mind. I flew to LA. I drove to his home. And when I was 2 minutes away, he was out there walking. And so I met him. Yeah. And, I told him I've come here all the way from Toronto. It's my birthday. All I want to do is meet you. You are the reason that I absolutely love music. And I would have wanted to be a performer. I didn't pursue it, but it's what I wanted to do. And I just wanted to meet you for my 40th. And so we took a picture together. I posted it online on Facebook, and some magazines picked it up. And this picture went viral all over the internet because at that time, this was 2015, nobody had seen Axl Rose in 2 years. So I kind of got my 15 minutes of fame with him. But that meeting reignited everything that I felt when I was 14. And I went, you know what? I'm going to try this thing that I've been wanting to do, which is to become a musician. And from there, it's been one incredible story.
I like it.
It is
I like
very
that
good.
a lot. Yeah, I really do. Yes, so a real chance meeting. That's yeah, I like it. Well, when you said this is what I wanted to do, what did he give you encouragement? What did he say to you when you said that? That he's the reason that you're into rock music and that. What did he say?
Well, I'm sure he gets that a lot, obviously being such a big superstar. But I'm glad I met him later in life because there are stories of him when he was earlier, when he was younger, and he wasn't so kind, but he was very polite. He's actually a little bit shy. And it was funny because he was just like, oh, really? Like, yeah, you're the reason that I was wanting to really become a singer and so on. And I said to him, hopefully one day you and I will sing together. And yeah, but he was very, very kind and understanding, and he thought it was really cool that I'd come all the way from Toronto just to say hi.
Well, absolutely, absolutely. So, of course, you know what he's been saying ever since, and every time he picks up a magazine that's had a picture of you two together, it just reminds him of the day, and he talks to all his friends about it, and Axel goes on and on about the day that he met Suzi Kory.
Yeah.
He talks about nothing else.
Sorry.
There you
That's
go.
what I like to think. I'm not sure if that's quite what happens. He probably thinks I sold the photo to magazines or something, but I didn't, just to be clear on that. The only thing is it's so funny because I look back and I go, well, I wish at that point I had already started my music career, which I had not. I was just thinking about it. And it was that moment that really reignited everything for me. So at least if I had some music of myself, it would have been great, at that time. But anyhow, everything happens as it should.
Okay, right. So we've got you meeting him when you're 40. Right. So, singing. What did you start doing? Did you start singing in bars or clubs, or did you go straight into writing your songs and into a studio? What happened next after your 40th?
I decided, like I was mentioning, that I wanted to pursue this music thing, and I really wasn't sure where to start. And then some friends told me, well, here around the city, and I'm sure you have them in the UK, there's open jams where you get up with a band and you can do a song or two. And it's kind of like karaoke, but you're doing it with a full band. So it's not as, with a recording, you're actually playing with a live band. And that was my biggest learning, was just getting up with these musicians. And a lot of these musicians are top-notch musicians because they play with a lot of big name artists. But when they're off the road, this is what they do to continue having some form of work. And so some of these musicians have played with some of the biggest artists around the world, and you get to get up there and sing with them. And one after another, I would get some of these musicians coming up to me afterwards and saying, you know what, we get a lot of people coming up on stage who just want to sing and they're not so great, but you're actually good and you should consider this. And I think that for me went, okay, well, if these guys who know what they're talking about think that I'm doing great, I'm going to pursue this further. And I kept doing that. I would just go to these open jams all around the city, and it gave me a chance to get up on a stage. And as nervous as I was, and I had no idea what I was doing or how to move on stage or how to talk to people, but that was really the learning ground for me, that taught me how to perform.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, we got to know you through Chris Spearer at Space Angel Music, and a couple of your songs. 1975 was one, and also Got a Feeling. They've met you through those, and they've both been recently on the Hit or Miss show, which is on a Sunday here, quite big in the UK and also on the Netherlands. And a few other countries, there's listeners. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's where the bases are. And they vote for the songs, whether they think it's going to be a hit or a miss while they're playing. One of them got through to a semi-final place. And when you think there's 12 that didn't get anywhere near, so it got through. But the previous one, which must have been 1975, it walked it. It absolutely walked it. Sort of like, yeah, hit. That's all coming through. So yeah. So two songs we've entered, and one to a semi-final, one straight to a final. So obviously getting known in the UK seems quite easy, really, doesn't it?
What? That's so funny. And that makes me feel great. And I'll tell you why. That song, 1975, is not even released yet officially. So,
there we go.
The fact that you just told me that, I had no idea. And it's coming out next year officially, where I'm going to be releasing it to all the streaming platforms. And so that's fantastic news.
Take a long ride, letting loose, letting go, going where nobody knows, out into the countryside.
it's funny because it's a cross between country, but it's really rock. 'Cause
Yes,
it's a lot
yes.
music, right? Yeah, and my music in general is country rock, but Got a Feeling is more poppy than it is rock. So this one's a little heavier country.
Well, I'll tell you what we do. When it is officially released, we'll make sure we play it again.
I was born in the 70s, and that's why for me that was a big song that I wanted to write, because I just think out of all the decades, personally, I think even though I was still a baby and growing up, the 70s music is just something else. It was raw. It's still not as, although we have a lot of great music happening right now, but it feels more like it's heavily produced and intentional with trying to create a hit song. Whereas back then, a lot of music was just, these musicians who were very raw and were given the platform to do what they wanted, because a lot of the music execs didn't even know, what was going to work and what wasn't going to work. And so these wild and crazy musicians would come up with just some of the craziest things, and it worked and people resonated with it. So when I first started writing and working with my producer Brent Woods is in Los Angeles, and he works with bands like Kiss, and he was in a band with Taylor Hawkins of the Foo Fighters. So he's this long-haired rocker, and I thought, great, I'm going to write a rock album. But then when I started writing my songs, he listened to them and he said, this is not rock. It's more country than it is rock. And I said, what are you talking about? All I listen to is rock music. And then that's kind of where, we touched on it at the beginning of the interview. My mother listened to country all the time. So I was used to listening to, Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt, all those artists. And I think it influenced me in a way that I didn't even realize. So then when I started kind of, doing more of the country thing, but I thought I have to do it in a way that's genuine to who I am, because I'm a big rock fan. And I found that middle ground with country rock. So it works.
What else is coming up next in 2025?
Yeah.
What else is coming up?
Well, in January, I'm going to LA to record again with my producer. We're going to do one more song because I'd like to release a vinyl album to kind of put a compilation of all the songs that I put together. I have 8 released. 1975 is coming out, and then I'm doing one more to make 10, so that we can have 5 and 5 on each side of this vinyl album. Nice. And I think it fits in with the whole theme because of the song called 1975, that people are not listening to CDs much, but vinyl's kind of done a comeback. Yeah. So I'd love to put out a vinyl album.
Yeah, absolutely. I was surprised that our HMV record store in the town centre here, it's incredible. The whole centre of the shop and more than one aisle now, it's vinyl.
Yeah.
And it's more than half the shop. No exaggeration, it's now vinyl again.
Yes.
It really is. And you think, God. And then you see the prices of it. You think, oh my God. And it cost me £4.99, £30 or whatever it is. But the smell of vinyl when you first open it, that's good.
Well, and, I know we live in a world now where you release singles and it's just one song at a time. And sometimes the fans don't even know the artist's name. They just like a song, because it got popular on TikTok or on social media. And I really miss the days when I would buy cassettes or I'd buy vinyl or CDs even. And you'd open up the credits and read and liner notes and read the words, and I'd go over lyrics. And maybe it's because also, I love music so passionately and wanted to be a musician. I'd really get in there. I'd see who produced it, who did everything on it. But just there was something about even opening it up and looking at the photos of your artist. You got this little fold out thing that comes with it sometimes. So there's something about having that physical product that's incredible.
Chatterbox. You're listening to Nick Prince and Suel on Chatterbox UK.
Sue, you were going to ask something.
I've got a question for you. If you could write a song, who would you write it for, and who would you like to sing the song?
Probably Stevie Nicks. He's one of my favorites. Yeah, from Fleetwood Mac. And, I love Fleetwood Mac as a band, but her solo stuff as well. And it's so funny because one time I played the song, my song, Settle of the Dust for someone, and I didn't tell them it was me. And they said, "That's Stevie Nicks. Does she have a new song?" And I said, "Oh my God, that could not be, a bigger compliment."
No.
And I cover a lot of her music when I do shows and I do some covers. I cover some of her stuff. So definitely Stevie Nicks. I absolutely adore her style. That, she's got class, beautiful songwriting, wonderful voice. Just, yeah.
Brilliant. That's what I like. She's great. Absolutely great. Okay, so what about touring? I mean, you got this vinyl album. That is a tour to go with it, or do you just sort of do gigs all the time and not so much a tour? You just do a gig when you book. So how does that side of things work out?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to set up something where it's more of a formal tour, but up until now, that's what it's been. I've done some festivals, some shows all around. I was mentioning to you, like I've had chances to play in the US, in Nashville, Texas, Los Angeles. I've played in Brazil, which was really cool. I was invited to do a festival there. And so, I've gotten some amazing opportunities, but I would like to do something that's more intentional. I'd like to come out to the UK for sure.
I've got something else for Susie.
Yeah. What do your children think of your singing career?
So there's two parts to it. The initial part was Mom is going crazy and she's her mind. And oh my God, our friends are going to see her on social media and this is going to be embarrassing. And then all of a sudden they start to see that, I was doing these bigger shows and getting an award in Texas last year, and just kind of the more understanding. I've kind of talked to them all the way through it, that the way it works as a business. And when they started to understand that not only am I doing it, I'm not just doing it as a dream, a young person who's dreamt of becoming this, and then you're doing it just to fulfill some kind of fantasy. I actually took it seriously and started writing my own music. And then when I went to work with a producer, I chose the producer that I'd like to work with, for particular reasons. The music videos that I shot, all professionally done. I've invested a lot into it. And then I got back a lot from it as well. I've been able to make a successful career out of it and make good money. And I showed my kids that side of it so they understood that this is a profession and it's not mom trying to live out some childhood fantasy. And once they saw that, then it became like, okay, so this is serious. And I wanted them to understand that, because if they're thinking of doing something similar where they want to follow whatever their passion is, I wanted them to see that you can make that passion something actually viable as a career. And it's not just to do for fun. You just have to figure out how to make it work business wise and be serious about it and be organized. And, I've done everything up until this point by myself, from booking my shows to getting on things like Sirius XM, which is satellite radio here. And that's huge. And a lot of people hire people to do these things, but I've been able to do it on my own because in my professional career, have been in management forever. And I understand how to manage things and how to reach out to the right people and how to communicate, how to, go to radio stations, meet with people in person, and build those connections on my own. So it's been a learning process for myself, but also for my kids. It's been good for them to see how to build something like this.
Okay, cool. Right, we've got a website which we're now
How amazing is that?
currently looking at, and it's SuziKory.com. So Suzi, SUZIKORY.com. SuziKory.com. And I'm currently looking at it, and where are we? We have got links to music. We've got links to events that you've got going on. Nice photo gallery.
I like some of the outfits you wear. They're nice.
Yeah.
So I'm available on all the streaming platforms if you want to listen to the music, whether it's Apple Music, on Spotify, and it's also available on things like TikTok, through my website, SuziKory.com that you mentioned. So really, I'm out there on all the social media platforms, and yeah.
Okay, so we've got the kids. Are they now in a situation where they're proud of what their mum's doing? They're no longer embarrassed what you might do on the TV or whatever you might be. Are they now proud of you? They accept it. They think you're good. Is that where we are now?
Well, I guess you can be proud and still embarrassed sometimes, because when I put out the song "Got a Feeling," I'm not sure if you've had a chance to look at the music video, but basically it was during COVID, and there was this whole thing about being having to stay home and not going out, and so I thought it would be funny to make a music video about that. What I did was order online from Amazon a boyfriend, and it happened to be a blow-up doll. And then him and I become social media stars, and we blow up on TikTok because I couldn't use TikTok. And I really lived that. I actually traveled with that. His name was Johnny Toronto. And I would go to restaurants with him. I went to LA with him. I went to Nashville with him. My whole social media at that time when that song came out was with me and Johnny, my blow-up doll boyfriend. And we get married. There's actually a wedding and everything else in the video. You see us get married. And so my kids were like, Mom, up until now, we've been okay with all of this. This is a little too much. I'm not sure. So, because their friends obviously look at their mom's social media. And so it gets a little tricky, but they understand. I said to them, look, this is all part of marketing and it's having fun with it. And you can't take yourself too seriously. I think when they're younger, it's harder because obviously friends will be like, what the hell is your mother doing with a blow up doll?
Well, sure. It's only you, me, and about 200,000 other people. Okay. So no, this isn't going to get out. What happened to Johnny? Did he dump you? Did you get rid of him? Have you got a better model now? What happened? Some fool.
You might have got a puncture.
Some fool somewhere is going to be asking, "Have you still got him?"
Well, excuse the pun, but it got deflated, the whole relationship.
Brilliant. Love it. Very good.
I would have him wearing our shirt together. I created one of my merch things was the shirt from Got a Feeling. So you see me and him together. And that way people saw him and they took selfies and they'd say, oh, who do we tag? I actually created even a Facebook page for him and an Instagram. And so he has his own social media. And people loved it and they ate it up. So I got all this additional attention from, just going to a restaurant, sitting there, and people would be like, what is that? And then they'd come up and they'd want to take photos. And so, yeah, it's easy marketing where I'm not doing much except walking around with this thing. And people are like, what is that? And so it gives you a chance to talk about it. And of course, he's wearing the shirt too. So it was like, oh, who's Suzi Kory? I'm like, well, that's me. So,
sorry.
Because in the video I have pink hair, so people don't necessarily make the connection. But yeah,
brilliant. I
like that. It's very good.
Yeah, I will send you a song. I'm probably going to send you "Settle of the Dust." It tends to be one of my most popular songs. It's a love song, and real quick snippet about it that's funny is that I wrote it about my producer who I was working with, and I had the biggest crush on him. And the thing is, we were friends and we're working together. So, you got to keep it professional. And he would always tell me about all the relationships he was in and with several women. He's a touring musician. And I would just think, this is killing me because he feels he's my friend and he's telling me all these things. I'm like, I don't want to hear it. So I wrote this song to kind of just say, I don't know. If you listen to the lyrics, you'll understand. But he produced the song, and I was just like, this is crazy. He's working on a song that he doesn't know is about him.
That's great.
Now, he eventually caught on. I remember at the end of the recording of the song, we were done, and I was leaving to the airport in an hour. We'd finished the vocals, and he turned around and he said, is this about me? And I said, no, are you crazy? Why would I write a song about you?
Okay.
Now, 2 years later, when I was over it, I said, you remember when you asked me? Yeah, it was about you. So he knows, and we laugh about it now.
Anyway, it's been really great meeting you and chatting at last, Suzi. And yeah, we've enjoyed it. And I know the listeners will love it.
I just wish you all the best of luck for the future.
Sure. And we will catch you. Thanks for coming on Chatterbox. And Suzi Kory, we'll catch you sometime soon. Take care. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye. Bye.
You've been running around like all them wild horses, chasing after a dream, nobody tying you down. hotel. No time for goodbye, you gotta hit the next town. But before you go, you gotta know. With the settle of the dust. Open skies and burning miles, heading down the highway, leaving lovers behind. Ain't nothing slowing you down. Up and gone before this town will ever see the light of day. Can't say if you'll ever be coming back around. But before you go, you gotta know. You fool, can't you see? The only one that's gonna set your heart free is standing right there next to you, watching all the girls that come through. Knows it's only just a matter of time, waiting her turn in an endless line. 'Cause you're the only one that she wants, visions of you in her heart that you haunt. So take your sweet little time if you must, just know she'll be waiting there with the settle of the dust, with the settle of the dust. When the desert winds are blowing, they can turn the sand to stone. It can lead your soul down a lonely road, but her heart will guide you home. You fool, can't you see? The only one that's gonna set your heart free is standing right there next to you, watching all the girls that come through. Knows it's only just a matter of time, waiting her turn in an endless light. 'Cause you're the only one that she loves, bringing you home when the road has been rough. So take your sweet little time if you must, just know she'll be waiting there with the settle of the dust, 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 with the settle of the dust.